What is up, everybody? Today we are heading out to the saltwater to test out a high-low rig for Tog. Recently I've had a lot of people reach out to me on Instagram asking me to do more Tog videos, and specifically been having a lot of people asking about rigs since we've been doing a lot of videos about jigs. So what I'm going to be showing you guys today will be my favorite Tog rig, which is just a regular high-low rig. I only have 20 to 30 minutes to fish today, so it's going to be a tight squeeze, which kind of eliminates a lot of good spots that I want to go to, because I got to stay pretty close because I'm on a time constraint. So where I'm going to be going, I am not expecting to catch any big Tog. Not that they're not there, but where I'm going to be testing out this rig is predominantly going to be smaller Tog, if they're biting at all. And I'm kind of jumping the gun there, but so if you're looking for a Tog video, you know, of somebody catching, you know, Togzilla or, you know, big Haas Tog, you ain't gonna get it in this one. So I'm just giving you that heads up now. But while we're on our way there, here's the rig that we will be using. All right, so for today's video, we're gonna keep it very simple. We're just using your basic high-low rig. Now, when I go fishing for Tog, I typically like using jigs, but every once in a while I'll go out and bring some rigs with me. Now, there are plenty of different rigs that you can use for Tog. I'm not saying there's one specific one that works better than another. Personally, I like the high-low rig, just because it keeps your bait from dragging on the bottom. And if you are targeting Tog or blackfish, whatever you want to call them, you know that they're very structure driven, meaning they hang around rocks, wrecks, pilings, docks, bridges, so various spots where you can get snagged or hung up on. So just a quick rundown. The rig in general is about 18 inches long. So I have 18 inches of leader. I'm using 30-pound today. I mean, typically I like using 40 or 50 just because if you're fishing around structure, you want to have the strongest line possible so that you're not, you know, breaking off into the structure. But just going to give you a quick rundown. So you can do a weight clip or you could do a weight loop at the bottom. I do find that if you use a loop, you run into less likelihood of snagging, but I have a few clips that I wanted to use up, so that's what we're going to use today. And then about 6 inches up, there's a dropper loop with a Mustad hook. I'll put all the, you know, tackle that we're using in this video in the description down below. But I like adding the bead and the float to the dropper loop just because where I'm going to be fishing is kind of turbid water, where it's not the cleanest of water, I guess you could say. And I think sometimes that little bit of color helps the fish actually locate it. And then once they locate your bait, you know, it's game on. But now when it comes to hooks, there's no wrong hook you can use. Now, I'm going to be using smaller hooks today because I'm going to be targeting smaller fish. But if I was going out, you know, wreck fishing or fishing deeper spots, I'd probably be using, you know, the Gamakatsu live bait hook or their octopus hook. Both work very well. Both are very strong and sturdy. That is one of the things you do want to look into when you're investing in hooks for Tog. You want to find, you know, hooks that won't bend very easily, because these things do have teeth and they have strong jaws. They could bend, you know, very light hooks if you're using like a smaller hook. All right, now that we talked about the rig a little bit, few things. Bait. You can't go wrong with green crabs. That's what we're going to be using today. Other baits at work, clam, sand fleas, white-legged crabs, any type of kind of crustacean, because they are, like I said, hanging around structure, and most of that structure holds similar baits to what we'll be using today. But big key, and I might mention this later in the video, you only want enough bait to cover the hook. If you have a bunch or an excess hanging off of it, they'll just pick it right off. So big key, you want to, you know, cut your bait to the length and size of your hook. Most times I'm cutting the crabs in half and putting half of a crab. Today, with the little bit of a smaller hook, we're probably going to cut it into quarters, split it in half, and then split it one more time. But enough about the rig and bait. Let's get out and catch some fish. We are gonna try the OG rig out first. All I'm gonna be doing right now is, try not to get clawed by this guy. If you watch the other videos, you know that we are snipping the legs off, splitting it in half, and then we are going to just feed the crab through like so. Boom. And then put one up here. All right, let's test her out. Got him that time. Oh my God, look at that baby guy. That's what's been stealing the bait. Baby Tog. All right, we're gonna let this little guy go. Got him. Little Tog. Baby Tog, man. He actually got hooked in the eye. I feel bad. I was just looking at it. But we're gonna let him go. So all I'm doing is threading the bait through the hook, like so. Going through a leg or a knuckle and then out the meat. And then we're gonna drop it straight down. As soon as we get there. Oh man, they're relentless. I mean, as soon as it gets back to the bottom, I'm getting crushed. Got him that time. Got him that time. Man, I'll tell you what. Today is the day of Baby Tog. But, like I said, I'd rather catch fish than get skunked, so. You gotta be careful when you're unhooking these guys. They do have some teeth. But, we're gonna let him back. And off he goes. All right, man, so today we only had so much time to get out, and you know, this where I'm fishing is not my first spot that I would go to, but for a convenience standpoint, you really can't beat it. So far there hasn't been any big fish. Everything I've gotten has been tiny, but like I said, you know, bad day on the water beats a good day at work, so we're just happy to be catching fish. I mean, it's as soon as it hits bottom, we're getting hits. But it's just like you gotta be patient because there are a lot of small fish. And even the bigger ones out of the small ones are hard to hook. Got him that time, got him. There we go. Beautiful little Tog. Gonna let him back. Off he goes. All right, so I'm noticing that these fish are smaller, so we're baiting accordingly. So usually we half the crabs and throw half on, but with the pure size of these guys, half a crab is kind of a waste because they're literally picking off, you know, the meat and then just leaving the hook. So we started quartering the crabs, and I think that might be the ticket right now with these smaller fish. They're just relentlessly crushing it. Got him, got him, got him. There we go. Little boy. Got ourselves a little tog. All right, man, we're gonna let this little guy go. So we're gonna get away from the traditional style of baiting that we have been used to in other tog videos. So what I'm doing, I'm just cutting the legs off first, then we get a clean crab like that. We're then gonna split it in half, and then here's the ticket. You want to take the shell off, because that's no good. Throw that over, that's chum. And then between the two leg holes is where I'm splitting it. So there, oh, well, we just lost one of the baits overboard, but if you look, there are 4 leg holes, and if you go in between 2 and 2, split it, that's a perfect size bait for what we're doing right now. If we do start seeing bigger fish, we'll move up in size bait, but one of the problems is these fish are very slick and they will just rip the bait off. The smaller ones will. So if you do find that you're getting into smaller fish and you can't hook them, either A, your hooks are too big, or B, you're using too big of a bait and they're just ripping it. Got him, got him. Oh. Another little guy. Beautiful, man, looking fish. Alright, just putting a fresh piece on. And see, they just picked this apart, man. Fresh piece on. All right, dropping her down. Oh. Dropping her down. That was quick. Got him. Little guys, man, baby tog. Yeah. I'm sure the stripers are eating these guys up. Whoa. Poor guy. Didn't mean to drop him. Oh, there he goes. All right, get her down. Got him. Even these small guys have a pretty decent fight, man. Alright, let's let this guy go. Still got our bait, man. That's a win-win. We're gonna drop. Alright, and drop her down. Last drop of the day. See if we can't finish with a fish. Got him. Ooh. Biggest one of the day, man. So far. Oh. Alright, man, we're gonna let this beautiful specimen go back. Got him. Yeah, I think it's the same one every time. Off he goes. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a big rig guy. I'd rather fish jigs for Tog, but a lot of people have been reaching out to me asking me to do a video on high-low rigs and what rig I'd use, and this is it right there. We got a fish on. This is the rig I'd use. And I mean, it definitely will produce fish. It's just a matter of culling through the smaller ones. Throw them back. Still got our bait. We're gonna drop her back down. Got him again, that quick. I mean, you can see how easy this rig is to use. Ah, yeah. They're very simple to use. I mean, and they last a while as long as you have good knots and good line. But, I mean, bait still looks good. We're gonna drop that back down. All right. Tell you what, man, you can't ask for a better day of weather. Fish are cooperating. I mean, life is good, man. Now, if you're watching my rod tip, you're probably saying, why isn't this guy setting the hook on every hit? It's because I'm waiting for those hits. That's a bigger one. You gotta wait till they pull down on it. Oh, look at that. That's why I felt bigger. He was foul hooked. But one of the keys, especially with Tog, I don't try and set the hook until I feel the rod tip being pulled by a certain weight. It's not like a sea bass where it's like tap, 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 where you have to, you know, lift up on it. You're waiting to see the rod tip just bend slightly, and you can feel the weight of the fish just on the other side because they're grabbing onto it, trying to eat the crab off your hook. See, like that, I'm not going to set the hook on that because that's just a little fish picking at it. If you're looking, and I'll try and zoom in when I'm editing this video on the rod tip, you can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, so we're going to drop it down. I'm going to try and key in on the rod tip so you can see what I'm talking about. See that slate pull right there? When you get just enough of it, you can, in my opinion, set the hook. But those little taps that we're getting right now, you just let it sit and wait for the bigger one to come. See, like that? That's the hit I should have set on. But I have two baits down there, so I'm fairly confident that it'll come back for one of them. And there it is. Got him. Another little guy. Beautiful looking fish. I mean, they do have some ferocious little teeth. Off he goes. All right, guys, so unfortunately that's all the time I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the rig, just drop a comment down below. Otherwise, if you're not a subscriber, please click subscribe down below. Have a great day. I'll see you guys soon.